The following video you're about to watch is our hypothesized assessments of function. In the field of ABA, before we actually make an assessment, we like to use an assessment tool, or an FBA or an FA. So please enjoy our hypothesized video of functions. I'm Brandon Dzwonkowski, and I'm an RBT with Brett Denovi and Associates, and we are here with Ty Larm. He is our media director for BDA. Today we are covering more of our pop culture functions of behavior, and this is F6 section 2 of the 5th edition task list. So we're gonna dive into a lovely cult classic called The Breakfast Club.
The scene we chose, it was the group therapy scene. They're all discussing their backgrounds, their family history, and kind of gives you a little bit of perspective on who they are as characters and maybe why they're sentenced to the detention that they're in on the Saturday. So we're going to start off with Claire.
You know how popular I am. I'm so popular.
She craves the attention of her peers. She's in the popular group in the high school, and there's one point where Brian asks, "Hey, tomorrow are we still going to be friends in the school?" And she says, "No, because my friends don't like you, and I can't let them know that we're friends."
If Brian came walking up to you in the hall on Monday, what would you do? I mean, picture this: you're there with all the sports. You know exactly what you'd do. You'd say hi to him, and when he left, cut them all up so your friends wouldn't think that you really liked them.
That's very accurate. A lot of her motive is really that she wants to be the popular girl. She wants to be the top of the food chain. A lot of those traits and characteristics and mannerisms that she engages in is strictly just for that attention, and even at the core.
The next person we already mentioned, and Brian, he's the nerd per se.
I'm here because Mr. Ryan found a gun in the locker.
He needs straight A's or else his parents aren't going to be satisfied. And all this pressure cooked up, and he just needed to escape it. So the teacher had actually found a gun in his locker, which then turned out to be a flare gun.
You can't have an F. I can't have it. I know my parents can have it.
The character of Brian, he's that nerd. He's lost. He's bullied. He's he's stuck to the things that he does best, and that's his grades. So it leads him to go down a dark path of finding a gun and doing what he thinks would be a better decision than just telling his parents. So definitely escape.
All right, so next we got Bender. He might be one of the best characters in the movie, I think.
Don't you ever talk about my friends. You don't know any of my friends, you don't look at any of my friends, and you certainly wouldn't condescend to speak to any of my friends. So you just stripped to the things that you know. Shopping, nail polish, your father's BMW, and your poor, rich, drunk mother in the Caribbean.
Right. Yeah, the abusive relationship with his father, multiple times throughout the movie. The typical tough guy act that, you've lived your life for so long in a certain way that the only way you know how to get attention is the negative attention.
Let's go to the next character. We got the jock, the athlete, Andrew. He's sentenced for detention because he tape someone's butt cheeks together. So I would think that his motive for most of his behavior is attention maintained by his peers.
Yeah, it could definitely be attention. The beautiful thing about this scene is when it breaks down, we learn more about Andrew's home life.
So I did it for my old man. I tortured this poor kid because I wanted him to think that I was cool.
So knowing that he's so strict and that there could be abusive relationships or disappointment or negative connotations of doing something un-American or unathletic or unpopular, it puts him in this category of he never wants to disappoint or he never wants to stray too far off from what his dad expects of him. So we could also gauge him as escape.
All right, the last one we got, I struggled with this one a little bit. Allison, the basket case.
Vodka.
Vodka. When do you drink vodka?
Whenever.
A lot? Tons.
A lot of the attention comes from, again, this mysterious kind of basket case mentality. But there's also a lot to lead that maybe a lot of it is sensory, like some of the clothing that she decides to wear or cutting, a lot of her sensory needs. You see her throughout the film kind of like playing a lot with her tongue or gum or her jewelry, and even just knowing that other people are in this detention, it could almost be fulfilling this need for that sensory component. This one definitely is tough, but we could maybe summarize it as attention/sensory.
Yeah.
Again, great scene. It's an awesome cult classic movie. You should definitely watch it.
Yeah.
And please, if you disagree with any of our functions, drop it in the comments. And please like and subscribe to keep sharing the science. Thank you.